It's March 19th, 2026, and I guess Mercury retrograde is still retrograding. I think it ends on the 20th, and what do they say? There's a shadow period after that. I say that because I'd already recorded this video, but realized I plugged the mic into the wrong place. So now I get to redo this whole video that I was so nervous about the first time around. And I was so glad to have hit record and completed it and felt so good that it was finally done, because if you didn't know, this has been on my mind for a long time. I've been circling around making a video, and I'll go into the details of what this video is in a second here, but I have been like self-sabotaging and finding all kinds of excuses to delay doing it. So when I just did the one, this video that's meant to be done, that I just completed recording, I was so glad that I was done, to only realize I had plugged the mic into the wrong place. Oh, if you know me, you know that my man is my tech dude, and I'm doing this alone in my own space. No one is here. So that's that. Anyway, so it's the middle of the day, and it felt like the most appropriate time to record this, because this is literally the only time that I had for today. I know that once I get home after work, I'm going to find all the excuses to not record. Okay, so this is why this middle of my day feels most appropriate, because otherwise I know I'm going to put it off another day. And I really wanted to do it because what's happening is, for the next 45 days, I'm going to be doing my alignment program that I created and documenting all of it on here for you to POV, for you to follow along if you want to, or enjoy, or just get an idea of what it's like to do this program. Or you know me in real life and you found out that I'm doing these videos and you want to be here for it. All of the above, whatever, I'm here for it. But yeah, so I'm looking down because I have notes, because your girl doesn't do this kind of stuff often, and I get really nervous and I get really excited, and then I go into freeze response, and so then I forget about things, and then after the fact I go back and I let my mind go, oh, these are all the things that I could have said. So if you're noticing that I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes, okay? Because your girl, like I said, gets excited. So if you've been listening and you're like, okay, she's doing the 45-day alignment program, well, what the hell is it? If you're following me on Instagram, which I'm on Instagram as Salvage and Rescue, spelled out in all letters completely, Salvage and Rescue, I have been talking about my program for a little bit. But if you're new here and you haven't followed me from there, the alignment program is something that I created, and it started off a few years ago after, I don't even know if I would say that. Anyway, a few years ago, I did this program. It's called 75 Hard. If you haven't heard about it, it is hard, hence the name. Go look it up or whatever. But I had completed it, and I'm so grateful I did it, because it really taught me a lot about grit. It really taught me about mental toughness. It really taught me a lot about discipline, all things that I really thought I had. I mean, in those years, I'm sorry if I hit the mic and that was really loud. In those years, I was pretty like hustle hard mentality. Anyway, so I did that program at that time because I noticed that I had kind of a funny story that I didn't complete things. I started all kinds of projects and I never finished it. And so when I learned about 75 Hard, this was years ago. This was in 2019, I want to say. I was like, this is the thing that's going to help me reprogram that story. Little did I know I was doing subconscious work before I was really doing subconscious work. But I told myself, like, I never complete things, and this is the thing that's going to help me break that. Like, I'm going to finish that, and I'm going to start completing projects. And guess what? That's exactly what I did. And that shit was hard. But like I said, it taught me a lot. I went on to complete the other portions of that 75 hard because there's like, I don't know what you call it, two other things you can do on top of that after you complete the thing. And then I want to say I've done that program 2 or 3 times now. And anyway, after having completed those, I just kind of realized like it was heavily focused on just a few things. I'd probably say the body and the mind. And it just felt like something was missing. Now, let me also just say, I didn't set out to create a new program to piggyback off of that, not at all. Okay, that is something completely different from this program here. It teaches you completely different things, but it was critical in my story and my character building and how we even got to here. So anyway, I began to realize, like, especially as I started to develop in spirituality and my practices in energy and things like that, I began to realize like it's missing some things. And I began to realize that there are other aspects of the human experience that we don't really focus on, or we focus on one or the other or 2 or 3, but never really aligning all of them. And something familiar would be like how a lot of like spiritual spaces will talk about mind, body, spirit. Yes, mind, body, spirit is all important. However, I feel like there is one other aspect that is missing, and it is the heart. But anyway, through time, I just kind of like created this practice that really had you looking at each aspect every day of your life. And if you go through your days and you feel pretty rocked and you're like, I feel off, or I'm exhausted, or things like are crazy right now, or whatever, I realized like it's because some of these aspects were unbalanced, meaning like I was heavily focused on one and not the other, or whatever. So anyway, this just became kind of my own personal framework and a way that I chose to live my life. And so from there, we fast forward to last year, which would be 2025. I don't know when you'll see this video, but it'll be 2025 around September, October. The universe, God, source, spirit, whatever you want to say, basically gave me a nudge and said, you're going to share this program, this framework with people. And I was like, what? This is how? I didn't know exactly how, but went into conceptualizing what it would look like to share this practice with other people. So I created a guidebook, something concrete, something of matter that someone can have, because all of this stuff honestly lived in my mind because I was like, oh, this is my own framework, whatever. So that's exactly what happened. And there I go. I went blank. I'm back. Okay, I'm back. And so, yeah, I created the program. I turned it into something concrete, and then it came time to share it. And I did. And some friends joined. And what was really cool about that was I wasn't expecting the results, the transformations, the change that came from it. And I say that because, I mean, this was just a framework for me that I was like, okay, this feels good for me, for how I live my life. And this is how I stay centered. This is how I stay rooted. This is how I stay clear. This is how I stay, I already said rooted, but you know what I'm saying? Like how I don't get rocked so hard when things are challenging. So when we completed that round with my friends, these other beautiful women, that, yeah, the way that it changed their lives, the way that it changed how they carried themselves, the clarity they had, the things they got to learn about themselves through that process, and the way they got to connect with each other. They may have been my friends, but they actually didn't really know each other. So it was actually really powerful to witness. So that really showed me like, okay, this is something that spirit wasn't lying. This is something that has to be shared. And so that's where I am with it. And so this is part of that story. I've done 2 rounds of the alignment program. I've also gone on to create a 4-week one-on-one container where we can work together. That has just wrapped recently too. And so when I did those the last 2 rounds of alignment with the other groups of people, I did the program with them. So I do it alongside with you. So you're not like just experiencing it by yourself. And all that to say, all of that has come to a close. And right now I'm ready to, because in those spaces I was holding a lot of space, I'm also ready to come back into myself. And so that's what inspired me to do the alignment program for me right now. And then I said, you know what, let's take y'all along. Let's document this. Let's let you see what it's like to go through this on a day-to-day basis, at least from my perspective, from my window from here. It looks different for every single person, which is why I think this is so cool. It can look so different for every single person in the most beautiful way. So that's that. And if by now you're like, well, what is the alignment program? So it's, if you heard already, it's a 45-day self-led practice. I do open it up seasonally so that we can come together in a community so that you do have some sense of support and guidance, at least for me, from someone who has walked through the program many, 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 many times. So yeah, it's the daily framework where you focus on 4 pillars, which I have said, I think earlier in this video. And the 4 aspects are the mind, the body, the heart, and the spirit. Those are all 4 important things to our human experience that when it is in line, aligned, things come together. Things are clearer. So yeah, I think other wellness programs are about adding more and doing more, where this one is meant to be really simple. I feel like it almost feels so simple that it's easily bypassed, but I don't know, maybe you're gonna have to try it for yourself. So yeah, so where I'm at today, today's day 1. Today is a new moon. It feels very fitting to start it on a new moon. Tomorrow is Aries season. Oh, I'm sorry, my nose is itching. I don't know where that's coming from. So it feels very fitting to start something like this right now. So where am I at? It's the middle of the day here, late afternoon. Yeah, it's late afternoon here, so it's most of the day. I still have more clients that I'm seeing. So what I've gotten to get done today, or get to accomplish today so far, was I've only done the mind pillar. And for the mind pillar, what I did was a little bit of EFT tapping, because I'm working on reprogramming my mind, and a little bit of reading. And the book that I'm reading right now is called Many Lives, Many Masters. I forget the name of the author, and I'm looking around because I have the book here somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Anyway, the author is a therapist who found his way into hypnotherapy and accidentally started leading his client into past life regressions. And so this book is about their sessions. So it's pretty fascinating to me. If you didn't know, I have a background in hypnosis as well. I'm also a Reiki master. And so that's what I've done today for the mind. I still have the body, the heart, and the spirit pillars. So my intention when I get home tonight, I'm probably going to do all of this before bed. The body pillar, I would have done this morning, except last night I did not get good sleep. My eldest cat wanted to be up all night long, and I would have worked out before coming to work today, but I didn't sleep well. So I was like, okay, we're gonna have to do that later. So anyway, I think tonight before bed, I'm gonna do some yoga. The heart practice is basically meant for something where you take a look at your heart space. You feel into it. If there's emotions to be felt, you let yourself feel it. Where can you give love, share love, whatever, right? This is defined a little bit more in my guidebook. I'll probably define it more and more as I do more of these videos. And so, yeah, so tonight I'm probably going to journal a little bit about my heart space, on how I'm feeling in this moment right now, doing this video, coming on here, being really vulnerable, shifting into visibility, letting myself have this courage here to do this, and shifting into a new way of living. So that's going to be very interesting. I'm going to let myself feel all of the feels in that. And then the final practice before bed will probably be for the spirit pillar is going to be to do some self-Reiki. So to shift some energy for me. And so, yeah, so that's going to be what I have left to do for the rest of today. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this second recording. You won't see the first recording, but you have enjoyed this video, and I'm so glad you're here. What do they say? Like, follow, subscribe. If you want to continue along on this journey, leave me some comments. Tell me about how you're feeling. And yeah, so I'm bringing you along on these 45 days. I'm gonna try to keep it as real. I'm going to keep it as, it's probably going to be unedited. And so maybe there will be some weird stuff, but it's going to be unedited because I need to make this as easy as possible for me to like complete this and follow through. Okay. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for this very first video. So thanks for being here. I will talk to you next time. Toodles.